The world needs a man who's 44 sleeping in a bed with children.
No, you're making it all.
When Michael Jackson denied the allegations from Cory Feldman, Macaulay Culkin, and other kids, many believed he was telling the truth. However, as time went on, more unsettling stories began to emerge. Cory Feldman, who once defended Jackson, later revealed more about his experiences, suggesting a reality far darker than anyone had imagined. These revelations hinted at sinister actions that happened behind the scenes, actions that few people know about. Michael Joseph Jackson was born as the 8th of 10 children in a working-class African-American family. His father, Joseph Jackson, was a former boxer turned steelworker who also played guitar in a local R&B band, while his mother, Katherine Jackson, nurtured her children's musical talents and was a devout Jehovah's Witness. Michael showed an extraordinary musical talent from a young age, displaying a keen sense of rhythm and melody. His father recognized this and began to push Michael and his brothers towards a career in music, forming the Jackson 5. The Jackson 5 was an immediate success. The group's youthful energy, combined with Michael's charismatic stage presence and vocal abilities, quickly captured the public's attention. Their early hits like I Want You Back, ABC, The Love You Save, and I'll Be There dominated the charts in the late 1960s and early 1970s, making them one of the biggest acts of Motown Records. Despite their public success, the Jacksons' life at home was far from idyllic. Joseph Jackson's strict and often abusive parenting style created a tense atmosphere, and Michael often spoke of the immense pressure he felt to succeed from a young age. This early experience with fame and family dynamics profoundly shaped his later life and career. By the mid-1970s, as the Jackson 5's popularity began to wane, Michael Jackson started to explore solo opportunities. His first major breakthrough as a solo artist came with the release of Asterisk Off the Wall Asterisk in 1979, an album that fused pop, disco, and funk. Produced by Quincy Jones, Asterisk Off the Wall Asterisk was both a commercial and critical success, selling over 20 million copies worldwide and earning Jackson his first Grammy Award. Tracks like Don't Stop Till You Get Enough and Rock With You not only topped the charts, but also showcased Jackson's versatility as an artist. However, it was the release of Asterisk Thriller Asterisk in 1982 that truly catapulted Jackson to global superstardom. The album, also produced by Quincy Jones, featured a mix of rock, pop, and funk that appealed to a broad audience and revolutionized the music industry. The accompanying music videos, particularly for the title track Thriller, Billie Jean, and Beat It, were groundbreaking in their use of narrative storytelling and special effects, setting new standards for the medium and helping MTV rise to prominence. With Asterisk Thriller Asterisk becoming the best-selling album of all time, Michael Jackson became a household name worldwide. His innovative dance moves, including the moonwalk, further solidified his status as a pop culture icon. As Jackson's fame reached unprecedented heights, his personal life increasingly came under scrutiny. Among the most controversial aspects of his personal life were his close friendships with young boys, including well-known child actors like Cory Feldman and Macaulay Culkin. These relationships were often publicly discussed by Jackson, who described them as innocent and based on a shared understanding of the pressures and isolation of fame. However, these friendships later became a central part of the allegations that would plague his life and career. Cory Feldman's friendship with Michael Jackson. Cory Feldman was one of Hollywood's most prominent child actors during the 1980s, known for his roles in iconic films such as Asterisk The Goonies Asterisk, Asterisk Stand By Me Asterisk, and Asterisk The Lost Boys Asterisk. His performances captured the imagination of a generation and cemented his place as a staple in teen and adventure films of that era. However, the fame that came with such success was a double-edged sword, exposing Feldman to the intense pressures and pitfalls of child stardom at a young age. It was during this turbulent period in his life, when he was around 13 years old, that he first met Michael Jackson. At this point, Feldman was searching for support, understanding, and guidance to help him cope with the demands of being in the public eye and the entertainment industry's challenges. According to Feldman, Jackson stepped into the role of a mentor and confidant, providing him with much-needed advice on how to navigate the complexities of Hollywood. Feldman has often spoken about how Jackson offered him guidance on handling the overwhelming attention that came with fame, as well as advice on professional decisions. Jackson's influence on Feldman extended beyond professional advice. He also provided emotional support, helping him deal with the sense of isolation that many child stars feel. Feldman has described Jackson as a friend who understood the unique difficulties he faced, someone who could empathize with his situation like few others could, given Jackson's own experience growing up in the spotlight. Over the years, Feldman has consistently defended Jackson against various allegations, emphasizing that his own experiences with Jackson were completely innocent and devoid of any inappropriate behavior. He recalls that Jackson treated him more like a younger brother than a mentee, showing him genuine care and kindness. Feldman fondly remembers their time together, highlighting Jackson's role in providing companionship and understanding during an era when Feldman felt particularly vulnerable and overwhelmed by the pressures of fame. This friendship gave Feldman a sense of normalcy amidst the chaos of Hollywood life. Feldman has often reminisced about the weekends he spent at Jackson's Neverland Ranch, a place that he describes as a wonderland of sorts, where he could momentarily escape the harsh realities of his young life as a star. He remembers enjoying the amusement park rides, watching movies in Jackson's private theater, and sharing stories about their experiences growing up in Hollywood. These moments, according to Feldman, were filled with laughter and camaraderie, providing a brief respite from the demands of their careers. Throughout their time together, Feldman insists that Jackson never crossed any boundaries and that their relationship remained entirely wholesome and appropriate. He has repeatedly stated that his memories of Jackson are of an individual who was generous, caring, and fun to be around. Even amidst the controversies that surrounded Jackson in later years, Feldman has stood by his friend, maintaining that the time they spent together was always positive, and that Jackson acted as a supportive figure during one of the most challenging periods of his young life. Feldman's accounts of his friendship with Jackson provide a glimpse into a relationship that, for him, was a source of joy and stability in an otherwise tumultuous journey through fame. Macaulay Culkin's relationship with Michael Jackson. Macaulay Culkin, widely recognized for his iconic role as Kevin McAllister in the Home Alone movies, also formed a close bond with Michael Jackson in the early 1990s. Culkin met Jackson when he was about 10 years old, shortly after skyrocketing to worldwide fame following the release of Home Alone. This sudden thrust into the limelight brought with it an intense level of scrutiny and pressure that can be particularly challenging for a young child to handle. Like Cory Feldman before him, Culkin found a kindred spirit in Jackson, who had himself experienced the unique difficulties of growing up in the public eye. Jackson, having navigated the treacherous waters of child stardom from a young age, could empathize with Culkin's situation and offer him a level of understanding that few others could. Culkin has often spoken about his relationship with Jackson, describing it as one of genuine friendship, mutual respect, and emotional support. According to Culkin, Jackson was not only a mentor, but also a caring figure who treated him with a great deal of kindness and compassion. Culkin has shared that Jackson saw him as an equal, rather than just a fan or another child. This dynamic was particularly meaningful to Culkin, who, despite his young age, was dealing with the complex emotions and challenges that come with being thrust into stardom. Jackson's ability to relate to Culkin's experiences created a strong bond between them, one that was built on shared experiences and a deep sense of trust. Culkin was a frequent guest at Jackson's Neverland Ranch, a place that offered an escape from the pressures of Hollywood and the relentless public scrutiny that came with being a child star. At Neverland, Culkin enjoyed the various attractions, including amusement park rides, a zoo, and a private movie theater, all of which provided a sense of freedom and normalcy that was often hard to find in his everyday life. The ranch was more than just a lavish playground. It was a sanctuary where Culkin could relax and feel like a regular kid, free from the burdens of his career. Throughout the years, Culkin has consistently defended Jackson against allegations of inappropriate behavior. He has been vocal in asserting that Jackson never acted improperly around him and that their friendship was purely platonic. Culkin has often emphasized that his experiences with Jackson were filled with nothing but positive memories and that Jackson was always respectful and kind. He has described Jackson as someone who genuinely cared for his well-being and who went out of his way to ensure that Culkin felt comfortable and happy whenever they spent time together. father. Culkin's defense of Jackson has remained steadfast, even in the face of public scrutiny and controversy. He has repeatedly stated that his relationship with Jackson was based on mutual trust, and that he never felt uncomfortable or unsafe in Jackson's presence. Culkin's reflections on his friendship with Jackson paint a picture of a bond that was deeply meaningful and supportive, providing both of them with a sense of companionship and understanding in a world that often misunderstood them. This friendship, according to Culkin, was a significant and positive part of his life, offering him a rare sense of normalcy and genuine human connection during a time when he needed it the most. Other friendships and allegations. In addition to his relationships with Cory Feldman and Macaulay Culkin, Michael Jackson was known to have close friendships with several other young boys, including Wade Robson, Brett Barnes, and James Safechuck, among others. These friendships were marked by frequent visits to Neverland Ranch, a sprawling estate that featured amusement park rides, a zoo, and a movie theater, which Jackson often described as a sanctuary where he could create a safe and magical environment for children. In addition to time spent at Neverland, Jackson maintained these friendships through regular phone calls and took the boys on trips around the world. Jackson often spoke openly about his affinity for children, explaining that he felt more at ease around them than adults because he believed children were more honest, sincere, and free from the ulterior motives that he felt often characterized adult interactions. However, these relationships also led to intense public scrutiny and controversy. In 1993, Jackson faced his first major scandal when he was accused of sexually abusing a 13-year-old boy named Jordan Chandler. The allegations surfaced after Chandler's father, Evan Chandler, a dentist and aspiring screenwriter, became suspicious of the close friendship between Jackson and his son. Evan Chandler confronted Jackson about the nature of their relationship and later accused him of molestation. Jackson vehemently denied the allegations, maintaining that his relationships with children were innocent and pure. However, as the media frenzy grew and the investigation unfolded, Jackson faced increasing public pressure. In an effort to avoid a prolonged legal battle and further media intrusion into his private life, Jackson's legal team decided to settle the case out of court for a reported $20 million. Jackson insisted that the settlement was not an admission of guilt, but rather a means to end the ordeal and protect his privacy. Despite the settlement, speculation about Jackson's behavior did not cease. His friendships with young boys continued to raise eyebrows and were a subject of media fascination and public debate. In 2003, Jackson found himself at the center of another scandal when he was accused of child molestation once more, this time involving a 13-year-old cancer survivor named Gavin Arvizo. These new allegations led to a highly publicized criminal trial in 2005, during which Jackson was charged with multiple counts of child molestation, providing alcohol to a minor, referred to as Jesus juice in some testimonies, and conspiracy to commit child abduction, false imprisonment, and extortion. The trial was a media spectacle, with intense coverage that portrayed a conflicting picture of Jackson's behavior. Former friends and employees provided testimony that ranged from defending Jackson as a kind and misunderstood figure to depicting him as someone who crossed boundaries with young boys. Throughout the trial, Jackson consistently maintained his innocence, asserting that he had never harmed any child and that the allegations were part of a larger conspiracy to exploit his generosity and wealth. His defense team argued that the Arvizo family had a history of making false claims and seeking financial gain through litigation, suggesting that the accusations were part of a calculated attempt to extort money from Jackson. The defense highlighted inconsistencies in the testimonies of the prosecution's witnesses and questioned their credibility. After a lengthy and sensationalized trial that captivated the world, Jackson was acquitted of all charges in June 2005. The verdict was a relief for Jackson and his supporters, but it did little to repair his tarnished reputation. The trial and the surrounding media coverage had taken a severe toll on Jackson's public image, leaving his legacy deeply polarized. While many of his fans continued to support him and believe in his innocence, others remained skeptical, convinced that Jackson's behavior with young boys was inappropriate, if not criminal. The debate over Jackson's innocence or guilt continued to divide public opinion, and the controversy surrounding his relationships with children became an indelible part of his complex legacy, which would continue to be debated and dissected long after his death in 2009. The trials and tribulations of Michael Jackson, the legal battles and allegations of child abuse were only part of the broader challenges Michael Jackson faced throughout his life. From his early years in the spotlight, Jackson was subject to intense public scrutiny and speculation, which only grew as his fame increased. His changing appearance, marked by numerous plastic surgeries and a skin condition known as vitiligo, became a frequent topic of media gossip and conjecture. Jackson's relationships, both personal and professional, were often fraught with tension and drama, exacerbated by his status as one of the most famous people in the world, struggles with identity and health. Throughout his life, Michael Jackson struggled with his identity, both in terms of his public persona and his physical appearance. Diagnosed with vitiligo in the 1980s, Jackson's skin began to lose its pigmentation, leading to visible patches of lighter skin. To even out his skin tone, Jackson resorted to using makeup and undergoing various treatments. However, this led to widespread rumors that Jackson was attempting to change his race, a notion he found deeply offensive and hurtful. In addition to his skin condition, Jackson underwent multiple plastic surgeries on his nose, chin, and cheeks, further fueling speculation about his appearance. Jackson explained that his surgeries were primarily for medical reasons or to improve his self-esteem, but the public perception was often less charitable, with some viewing his changing face as a sign of deeper psychological issues. Jackson also faced numerous health problems, including chronic pain, insomnia, and addiction to prescription medications. His dependency on drugs reportedly began in the early 1980s, following an accident during the filming of a Pepsi commercial that caused severe burns to his scalp. To manage the pain from his injuries and later from extensive cosmetic surgeries, Jackson began using painkillers like Demerol and Propofol, eventually becoming dependent on them to cope with the physical and emotional toll of his lifestyle. His addiction issues were a well-guarded secret for many years, but became more apparent in the 2000s as his behavior became increasingly erratic. Personal life and marriages. In addition to his public and legal battles, Michael Jackson's personal life was marked by a series of high-profile relationships and marriages. In 1994, Jackson married Lisa Marie Presley, the daughter of Elvis Presley, in a surprise ceremony that shocked fans and the media alike. The marriage was met with skepticism, with some accusing Jackson of using the relationship as a distraction from the 1993 abuse allegations. Despite the public scrutiny, both Jackson and Presley maintained that their relationship was genuine and based on love and mutual respect. However, their marriage lasted only 2 years, ending in divorce in 1996. Shortly after his divorce from Presley, Jackson married Debbie Rowe, a dermatology nurse he had met while receiving treatment for his skin condition. Rowe and Jackson had 2 children together, Michael Joseph Prince Jackson Jr. and Paris Michael Catherine Jackson, before their divorce in 1999. Rowe later gave up her parental rights, citing Jackson's desire to raise the children on his own. Jackson had a 3rd child, Prince Michael Blanket Jackson II, in 2002 through an anonymous surrogate. Jackson's relationships with his children were often portrayed as unconventional. He was a fiercely protective father, often shielding his children from the media and public scrutiny. However, his parenting methods were sometimes criticized, particularly after an incident in 2002 when he dangled his infant son, Blanket, over a balcony railing at a hotel in Berlin, Germany. The incident sparked outrage and concern for the child's safety, leading Jackson to issue a public apology, explaining that he had made a mistake in the heat of the moment. Financial troubles and public image. By the late 1990s and early 2000s, Michael Jackson's career and personal life were in decline. His 1995 album, History, Past, Present, and Future, Book 1 was commercially successful, but subsequent projects failed to achieve the same level of acclaim or sales. Jackson's increasingly eccentric behavior, coupled with his ongoing legal and financial troubles, further alienated him from the public and the music industry. Jackson's spending habits and legal battles took a toll on his finances. Despite earning hundreds of millions of dollars over his career, he reportedly amassed significant debt, estimated at around $400 million by the mid-2000s. His lavish lifestyle, coupled with the cost of maintaining Neverland Ranch and various legal fees, left him in a precarious financial position. In 2006, Neverland Ranch was closed, and Jackson relocated to Bahrain to escape the media frenzy and attempt to rebuild his life. The decline in final years. In the years following his acquittal in 2005, Michael Jackson largely retreated from the public eye, spending time in the Middle East, Ireland, and Las Vegas. He focused on raising his children and attempting to stabilize his finances, though reports of his erratic behavior and health issues continued to surface. Despite these challenges, Jackson remained determined to make a comeback. In March 2009, Jackson announced a series of 50 concerts at London's O2 Arena, dubbed This Is It, which were intended to mark his return to the stage and serve as a final farewell to his fans. The announcement generated immense excitement and anticipation, with all 50 shows selling out within minutes. Fans eagerly awaited Jackson's return to the spotlight, hopeful that the concerts would restore his reputation and reaffirm his status as the king of pop. However, the comeback was not to be. On June 25, 2009, Michael Jackson died suddenly at his home in Los Angeles from acute propofol and benzodiazepine intoxication. His death was ruled a homicide, and his personal physician, Dr. Conrad Murray, was later convicted of involuntary manslaughter for administering the drugs that led to Jackson's death. The world was shocked by the news of Jackson's passing, and an outpouring of grief followed from fans, friends, and fellow artists alike. Michael Jackson's death marked the end of a tumultuous life, but also cemented his status as a cultural icon whose influence on music, dance, and entertainment is undeniable. His groundbreaking work in the 1980s and 1990s set new standards for what a pop artist could achieve, and his innovative music videos, such as Thriller, Beat It, and Smooth Criminal, revolutionized the medium, combining narrative storytelling with complex choreography and special effects. Jackson's impact on the music industry is profound. He was one of the first African-American artists to achieve crossover success on MTV, helping to break down racial barriers in the music industry. His album Thriller remains the best-selling album of all time, and his influence is evident in the work of countless artists across multiple genres, including pop, R&B, hip-hop, and rock. Jackson was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice and received numerous awards throughout his career, including 13 Grammy Awards and the Grammy Legend Award. Despite his artistic achievements, Jackson's legacy is also marked by controversy and ongoing debate. The allegations of child sexual abuse and his unconventional relationships with young boys have left a complicated and divisive legacy. In 2019, the documentary Leaving Neverland brought new attention to these allegations, featuring interviews with Wade Robson and James Safechuck, who accused Jackson of molesting them as children. The film reignited discussions about Jackson's behavior and the validity of the accusations against him, leading to a renewed cultural reckoning over his legacy. Some fans and supporters argue that Jackson's contributions to music and culture should be separated from the allegations, emphasizing his innocence in court and the lack of conclusive evidence against him. Others believe that the seriousness of the accusations and the accounts provided by his accusers cannot be overlooked, and they argue for a more critical evaluation of his life and actions. Regardless of where one stands on the controversy surrounding his personal life, Michael Jackson's influence on modern pop culture is irrefutable. His unique blend of pop, rock, and R&B set a new standard for popular music, and his innovative approach to music videos paved the way for future artists to explore new forms of storytelling and visual expression. Jackson's dance moves, particularly the moonwalk, have become iconic, inspiring countless performers and becoming a staple in the repertoire of dancers worldwide. Jackson also played a significant role in advancing music production and technology. His collaboration with producers like Quincy Jones and the use of innovative techniques in the recording studio helped to push the boundaries of what was possible in popular music. Albums like Thriller, and Bad set new benchmarks for production quality and artistic creativity, influencing generations of musicians and producers. In addition to his musical contributions, Jackson was a trailblazer in the realm of music marketing and global brand building. His partnership with MTV, groundbreaking music videos, and global tours helped to establish the modern model of the global pop superstar. Jackson's ability to connect with audiences across cultural and geographic boundaries made him one of the first truly global entertainers, and his influence can be seen in the careers of contemporary artists like Beyoncé, Justin Timberlake, and Bruno Mars. Michael Jackson remains one of the most enigmatic figures in the history of entertainment. His life was a complex tapestry of unparalleled success and profound personal challenges. He was a man who could command the attention of millions with a single dance move, yet he struggled with intense loneliness and a deep desire for a childhood he felt he never had. Jackson's life and career were marked by contrasts. The child star who became a global icon, the philanthropist who was accused of heinous crimes, the artist who pushed boundaries, and the man who was often trapped by his own fame. Jackson's relationships with child stars like Cory Feldman and Macaulay Culkin continue to be a source of fascination and debate. For Feldman and Culkin, their friendships with Jackson were a source of joy and support, a respite from the pressures of fame, and a bond over shared experiences. Yet for others, these friendships were troubling and indicative of a darker side to Jackson's personality. The conflicting accounts of Jackson's behavior have left an enduring mystery that continues to captivate the public imagination. Michael Jackson's life was a story of incredible talent, extraordinary fame, and profound complexity. His music and performances transformed the entertainment industry and left a lasting impact on popular culture. However, his personal life, marked by controversy, legal battles, and intense scrutiny, has left a complicated legacy that continues to provoke debate and reflection. As the world continues to grapple with Michael Jackson's legacy, it is clear that he was a figure of immense contradictions, a man who brought joy to millions through his music, but who also faced serious allegations that challenged his public image. His relationships with child stars like Cory Feldman and Macaulay Culkin offer a glimpse into his desire for companionship and understanding, but also highlight the complexities and controversies that defined his life. Ultimately, Michael Jackson remains one of the most significant and controversial figures in the history of music and entertainment. His genius and flaws were equally extraordinary, and his life serves as both an inspiration and a cautionary tale about the pressures and perils of fame. As we continue to reflect on his contributions and controversies, Michael Jackson's story is a reminder of the complexities of human nature and the enduring power of music to connect and move people across generations.